An 8 out of 10 is very likely. Maybe even a 9 out of 10. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. And with the transfer window well and truly open, there's so many rumours out there that I thought I'd dive into a few of them and see whether they're actually going to happen to try and clarify a few things for you. So, first off, this rumour comes from The Athletic. Erling Haaland to Chelsea. This is obviously going to be a ridiculous amount of money. 75 million euros is the release clause that comes into effect for Haaland next summer. If Chelsea want to buy him before then, it's going to be upwards of like 90 to 95 million. Honestly, I just can't see this one happening. I'm sorry, Chelsea fans. I know you're going to get excited about the potential of Haaland, the goal scorer supreme, not only moving to Chelsea, but then being a top striker for years to come. The truth of the matter is, Chelsea spent a lot of money in the summer. They haven't exactly reaped all the benefits from it. They're not going to sell all these players straight away. They have Frank Lampard, who at the moment it's not clear whether he'll be there in the long term. Either is Roman Abramovich really going to go and break the club transfer record to bring in a player when they've already got other top players like Werner and Havertz and Ziyech and whoever else, and Pulisic as well. And then under a manager they're not sure is going to stay, and then the next manager might not even want him. Highly unlikely. This one, I'm going to go for 2 out of 10. This is not happening. It's just not, and especially if Chelsea managed to agree a fee of like 90 million or whatever, 95, 100 million, there's no way that another club won't come in for him. Like, it's a given that at any point within the next year, year and a half, 2 years, if Haaland becomes available, City, Chelsea, according to this rumour, Barca, Real, Bayern, whoever, are all going to be interested in him. They don't even need to make their interest public. They're just going to want to sign him. So I can't see this happening. I'm giving it a 2 out of 10. Sorry, Chelsea fans. Next up, and probably equally ridiculous, from The Telegraph, Romelu Lukaku to Manchester City. I can see why this would fit from an on-field perspective. City have struggled for goals this season. Sergio Aguero's got 6 months left on his contract and really hasn't been scoring and has been injured quite a bit. We don't even know if he's going to be there after the contract runs out. Gabriel Jesus, yes, a very, very good striker. In comparison to Romelu Lukaku, though, he'd be brilliant for Pep Guardiola. Having said that, he moved to Inter for a lot of money. They're going to want a ridiculous amount of money to let him go. Like, they're holding out for 110 million for Lautaro Martinez. They're probably going to hold out for the same, if not more, for Romelu Lukaku. And add into the fact that he used to play for Manchester United. I mean, I don't think that Lukaku has got Tevez's low levels of loyalty in switching from United to City. And I'm just not so sure this would be, especially looking at how Lukaku did in the Premier League for United. Guardiola and City are going to have a lot of faith in themselves and the manager, which they actually do, to get the best out of Romelu Lukaku. I'm not so sure he works as well in that system as he does in Antonio Conte's Inter team. Like, this Inter team is going places as well, and Lukaku is crucial to that. So whether he leaves to Manchester City, okay, January is never happening. Towards the summer we can see, but even then I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. Not likely to happen. Sorry, I can't see Lukaku moving anywhere. Haaland maybe, Lukaku nowhere. Next up, from Sky Sports, Christian Eriksen back to Spurs on loan. I've talked about this so much purely because I was so annoyed at Eriksen when he left. And I just don't think he's the same player that he was, in all honesty. Having said that, Spurs often look bereft of a number 10. Especially if Dele Alli is to move to PSG. If he moves, I can see the Eriksen deal happening. If he doesn't, I'm not sure why Christian Eriksen would be brought in. He went to Inter for this step up and didn't make it. If Tottenham are being serious about stepping up to the level of Inter Milan once they're back in the Champions League, if they get back to the Champions League, in terms of being a big force in Europe, they're not going to take a player who clearly can't handle it at that level. Like, less than a year into his Inter career, Conte says he's available for transfer. He clearly doesn't have the right attitude. He's tried to give him some chances. And on top of this, a loan move would suit the club because it would allow Eriksen to show all of his skills and potentially put himself in the shop window so they could sell him permanently. Like, they only signed him for 20 million, so to get that money back shouldn't be too difficult for Eriksen. As for a loan, I'd be amazed if Mourinho wanted him back that badly because he was the one who oversaw his departure, but that's because his contract was running out. It'd be a big U-turn, but it's not something unfathomable. Unfathomable. I said that word right. I'm going 6 out of 10. I can see it happening, probably up to a 7 out of 10 if Ali leaves. 6 out of 10 for me though. If you've loved any of these transfer rumours so far, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of all of our uploads. Anyway, on to the next one. Next up, Alisson player to West Ham. Every striker, right, apart from the top ones, every striker under the sun has been linked with West Ham to replace Sebastian Haller. He's gone to Ajax. It's clear they didn't get the best out of Haller's many talents, because let's be honest, he is a very, very talented striker. Mikel Antonio pitches in with a few goals and does well for West Ham, but isn't an out-and-out goal scorer. And if they're serious about pushing on into the further reaches of the league and maybe even challenging for a Europa League place, they're going to need a striker. Player is not it. Certainly not in January. At the moment, since joining from Nice, I believe it was, in Liga, he's had a pretty good record at Gladbach, formed a great partnership with the likes of Marcus Thuram as well, and has really taken Gladbach to another level, like so much so they're in the knockout of the Champions League. In fact, because they're in the knockout of the Champions League against Manchester City, I think we could pretty much rule out a January transfer move. But, having said that, we can't rule out a summer move. Deals are more likely done in the summer. I think, historically speaking, the Bundesliga sides maybe have accepted a little bit less money for their stars that, say, another Premier League side would. Gladbach are a few points off the Champions League spots. There are some very good teams in Bundesliga this season. I think the top four at the moment will finish top four. So if they don't make the Champions League again, West Ham have a decent end to the season and prove with big signings that they're going to be making another big push to take the step to the next level. Then maybe they can take player to East London. Obviously, compared to the Bundesliga, offer him a ridiculous amount of money per week. That's generally what attracts most foreign players to the Premier League. This one I'm giving a 5 out of 10, purely because it's not going to happen in January, but it may happen in summer. So I'm sitting on the fence here on a 5 out of 10. Right, lastly but not least, Memphis Depay to Barcelona. Yes, we're talking about this one again, and yes, I do think it'll happen. So, speaking to Canal Plus, the French TV station, Depay said recently that he's very committed to Lyon for this season. They were leading the league at the halfway stage, although PSG have retaken top spot. The likes of him and Houssam Aouar both were told they were staying at Lyon for the rest of the season by the chairman, by the president. But Depay is the one whose contract runs out at the end of the year. And for that reason, it's clear he doesn't want to stay at Lyon. He said that he wants to move to one of the top 3 clubs in the world. Ronald Koeman's at Barcelona. There's a big Dutch connection with Barcelona and Dutch players. It always has been. I just think this is the move for Depay, especially as it's going to be on a free transfer and Barcelona aren't necessarily looking at the kind of club this year that can go out and spend big money. A free transfer from Memphis Depay, that's going to happen. I'd be pretty certain in saying that this pre-contract agreement will be done and dusted before the end of the season, before his contract even runs out. Because just to be sure they don't lose him to someone else who can maybe potentially turn Depay's head. This one, I'm going for an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10 is very likely. Maybe even a 9 out of 10. I've no doubt we'll see Depay in a Barcelona shirt. As for Houssam Aouar, who he's been talking about as well, joining him in one of the big clubs, that's a bit different. His contract's not running out. Someone's going to have to pay a transfer fee. But for Depay, 8.5 out of 10. I'm raising the stakes. You guys, though, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Give us a number for all of these transfers. Check out everything else we've got going on. And until next time, I will see you guys later.